අවසලිතතුරේ අබුදාබි ඉස්තම්බූල් අධි දුපාය දෙමියක දෙකෝ ටිකටා හුරුම් අධි ටුවතවස් මුලින් හිලේ අධි ශොපින්නම් එන් හාස්ටොලරු තිබේ ලීගෙතුරු ප්‍රමෝෂන් තේරේක පෝස් පේඩ්නෙකුම ඩිපොසිට දක්කා කරනුචේ මහුෆීන් 2% අහමෙ ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් ඉතුරු ඩේටාවස් මුලින් හිලේ නසීබේරේක වුම රාජ්‍යගෙම හලුයි මොබයිල් නෙට්වර්ක් සබ්ස්ක්‍රයිබ් කොල්ලා
Assalamu alaikum and good evening. Welcome to a new show of the Upbeat program by the Ministry of Tourism. And we're so delighted to meet all of you with my colleagues this evening. Now, when we look at the Upbeat show, this is the second show of the program. And the purpose of this show is to celebrate the 50 year of the tourism industry, but most importantly, to bring some wonderful stories of industry leaders. And tonight, I have some wonderful leaders with me. And as we go with this show, we also will be talking a little bit in Divehi, just to make sure that we connect with the rest of the audience. And I've got a wonderful audience with me and great speakers. Assalamu alaikum. I want to mire Rajya Huriha Behuna Badda Kodlani tourism industry ge industry Korea genda Upbeat program agulinge. Upbeat program ki Rajya tourism industry funds ahar furuma guligan avana fahakora adi kuriya genda program terega avana industry ga zaman vi adi zuwan befulunge story takadi ege ituru me industry ga zuwan kudina kuriya devani kiratto skuni ma kudina kuriya geddanatto mika ek wahata avana kuriya genda em avana fortas program fashion gotawunange mi mirege emme muhim program emme muhim bayaveren kamaga program ge speakers ni ekura taarafen aron. So starting with, we have Sana over here. Sana is currently the HR and training manager of Fushifaro Maldives, yes. Yeah, there are many resorts with the name, so I just got it. So Fushifaro Maldives. Now, when you look at Sana, we got a wonderful story here with Sana. Sana have over 10 years of experience and started in the travel agency. From there, she moved into the resort industry, started with Conrad Maldives, and then she went into the operations side of the resort, whereby today she is the HR and training manager. And she understands what it takes to be a great hotelier. When I asked her what her hobby is, she said traveling. She has been to over 15 countries, and the 16th country is already marked to go. And right next to me, and I'm so delighted I got all these great speakers here tonight, is Jay. As a nickname, Jihad. Jihad is currently the corporate general manager of Kukung Collections. They have 2 properties in the Maldives where he managed the operation. He started the industry in 1996 just as a room attendant. From there, he developed himself into the various areas of operation, looking at all the key areas of hospitality industry, from sales and marketing to the areas of wellness, sustainability, and today he leads these 2 resorts with over 1,000 employees. When I asked Jay about what his hobby is, he said to me that reading and swimming, and he considers himself as a good swimmer. So you can see that all of our stories, there's really a great deal of interest and hobbies here. And next we have Yash. Yash is our currently the Director of Retail at Crossroad Marriott, the largest integrated resort operation in the Maldives. And Yash started the industry about 14 years ago into travel agencies, human resource operations, and she realized that her real passion is in dealing with customers. And she went back from HR, she went back into the front line. And Yash, when I asked her hobby, she said her hobby is photography. And she took even a photo today, so I'm sure she really loves it. And right next to is Nahid. Nahid is one of the most experienced local leaders in the industry, over 26 years of experience, starting in the front office in Sheraton Maldives, and they're moving ahead towards and covered almost all the areas of hotel industry. And today he leads as the general manager of one of the largest resort operations in the Maldives, Paradise Island Resort. As you can see from Nahid, he's quite a sporty person. And he said his favorite and hobby is football, and the team that he supports is Real Madrid. So welcome all the speakers
Thank you.
and to our audience and everyone who is watching this. Now, I would like to go ahead with our first question over here. And I think all of us here, we have a unique story because everyone is unique here and we have our great strengths and things we have done. So I'd like to go ahead with the first question is, what inspired you to join the hotel industry? What made us to join? So we start with Sana.
Thank you, Afif. First of all, I would like to thank Ministry of Tourism to give for us this opportunity to share our knowledge and stories with all the students and citizens of Maldives. So myself, I have a story where I finished school, I was studying, and I was also very worried. Back then, I didn't know what to choose, and I was very worried that I might choose the wrong career for me. So after a few jobs in Male, as Afif mentioned, I worked in Villa Travels as a first job, and moving, I got the opportunity to work in the airport lounge. So this is where I meet a lot of guests daily when they come for their dream vacations, which they have been planning for years and years. So I was very curious seeing these excitements and their energy. So I wanted to see more to the other side, and that's when I started exploring my opportunities. And one of my friends actually convinced me, and again, this is not the end. It took a lot to convince my parents to move, as I had a big challenge, as nobody in my whole family was working in the industry, so it took a lot to convince them. Finally, I convinced them and moved to a resort, and I think I managed to really change their mindsets, as this is actually an industry where they now believe a lot, and they encourage rest of the family to move to the industry as well, see my success and also see me grow personally and professionally. So I managed to convince them that this is a safe haven for everyone who would like to join the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned a very good point here, that your story is that you realize there's nothing better than serving people. Yes. And you said this is the right thing to do, and that's where you actually got into the hotel industry.
I always say this, if you love your job, you would not work even a single day, and that's exactly what I felt when I moved to a resort.
Yeah. Very good, very good, wonderful. Let's hear from your story, Jay. What inspired you to join the hotel industry and become who you are today?
Thank you. Very good evening. And I also like to echo what Sana mentioned. Like, thank you, Ministry of Tourism, giving us the opportunity to share our experience. For the young generation, the industry more than ever need innovative, passionate young Maldivians to come and join the tourism industry, to elevate and take the industry to the next level. Every day we're learning something, right? Learning is a never-ending story. I go back to 1995 or 6, I think. I finished my O-level. While waiting for the O-level result, I thought I should not wait for 2-3 months. I have to go somewhere and have a work experience. And those days, there was a belief, if you do very well in science, you can be a doctor or you can be an engineer. And business stream, finance, chartered accountant. I thought I did quite well in O-level, business. So initially, I thought I can be a very good chartered accountant. One of our close friends convinced me to come to a resort as a front office intern or trainee, a senior person. Went to a resort, joined with his team as a front office trainee. The first few months, I wasn't very sure that's the industry I want to, because we always hear shy character, introvert. Is it the industry you want? But with the tremendous support from the manager, from the team, I felt very comfortable. But still, I wasn't very convinced this is the industry I want to. With the help of my team and my manager, he said, why don't you go and talk with the guests? I said, you want me to go and talk with the guests? What I'm going to talk about it? About Maldives. Always is very much my interest to learn culture, different culture, learn from different people, right? And when I look at my colleagues, 15 nationalities, working in different departments, I learn from them. Also, when I engage, interact with our wonderful guests, I learn from them. 20 years before, when you had the opportunity to talk even guests from Scotland, even pronunciations you don't sure really whether you understand correctly. But the more I was able to talk with the guests, I thought it's not a bad industry. Diverse team, guests, because we learn from the stories from our colleagues, from the guests. And I decided to continue my study and also work.
Oh.
I had the opportunity to work in housekeeping department, front office, and other department as well. So still I am in work in the industry. So that's how I inspired and how the journey started.
Wow.
Thank you.
I mean, the idea where you were able to communicate, learn from over 50 different cultures. There is no other industry. Perhaps we could argue whether there is or not. But my belief tonight is that there is no other industry where you could actually learn under one roof.
Yeah.
And I'm sure going back into Yash, you started with the travel industry and then got into the resort and now over 14 years. Tell us your story. What made you to join and learn all the things and now realize, okay, retail is my passion. That's what I'm going to do.
So I'm from Bisoladu. Kiawani more for grade 10 more for thing I CHSC Malaya. As a Malaya CHSC how I decided my career back then. So CHSC got me Kiawaden teacher, Kiawaden business studies subject to human resources. I'm learning human resources. I was like very into it. So as a subject, the way that she actually went through it, like touched my heart, and like me, human resources is the field that I really want because it helps a lot of people, a lot of families. Because gina bayaka wazifa ta dinuma gina aila ta kegge me backbone me haradu kurane kujjaku family ga ufeddumuge bar libuni human resource ko ulate. So human resources was what I wanted. So then the next step was that as soon as I finished school, like Jay said, I wanted to immediately start a job. So Nikuingo the Furtamas job search Furtamas Libun Jobaki ticketing agent. I took it immediately. I wanted to stand up on my feet, earn money, Ben menu itur mihaku ashke haradda balaka. So that was my goal. So ticketing agent the first human resources manager is boss Tayyip, now is the director of tourism. Then to me ticketing agent there was a youth challenge, right? So youth challenge is like a job fair where you can actually find all the companies where they are searching for people, and it's kind of a job fair, no? So one of my uncle told me, okay, Yash, this is the time. If you want to get a job in human resources, you should go in there, prepare your CV, make it very attractive, attach all the certificates. So I made like 20 batch of certificates and CVs. I went inside to Youth Challenge. I dropped my CVs anywhere I wanted to be, Diragu, like anywhere, right? On the way, I dropped to one place, which is Horizon Fisheries, which is a fishing industry, very different. So when I went there, they did an interview on the spot, which is very common nowadays in job fairs. When you go to any job fair, they will do on-the-spot hiring, which is a very good advantage for you to actually be there and present yourself rather than doing a call interview, right? So youth challenge ga interview on the spot ga hayakolla me HR senior officer එක. So I was like, wow, this is also possible. So they asked me to actually come to the job next day, but I was like, I am still working. So following that, I resigned obviously from ticketing, but that actually is a part of HR, which I realized later because in HR, what you have to do is you have this annual leave where people actually travel, right, in and out. And when you hire, I expect you have to actually buy tickets. So doing this ticketing job actually made it so easy for me to do the ticketing part. And the next job was also a part of it. So HR Golemo, 2 years I spent in Horizon Fisheries as a senior HR officer. How I ended up in tourism is the next thing, right? So my sister was studying travel and tourism, and she always wanted to work in a tourism industry, and she was a front office in Male. But later she said that, okay, I am tired of living in Male. I want to save money, travel around the world, spend on myself, and look after my family. So all of these things, she planned it, and she said, I feel like tourism industry is one of the best places you could actually spend, save money, because the only thing she said I have to buy is toiletries. The rest is taken care of by the company itself. You have your accommodation provided, food provided, transfer provided, trainings provided. You can go abroad to study. Those opportunities are also there. So it's like a huge advantage. So that actually got me interested. So I called her and I said, okay, maybe I will go with you. Because tourism industry back then had the idea that it's not a place for girls, right? Yeah. So especially for girls, but it's not true, okay? So what happened was she encouraged me. I did an interview for HR officer job, which is actually related to AFIF because Diva Maldives is the first place I worked. Yeah. And it's now currently Lux, right? So I joined there and then I was like, this is different. Now you have to have a new family because when you eat, you have everybody in one hall where you sit together, you eat your garudi and bag, right? And enjoy a meal with different nationality, different people from around the countries, around Maldives. You learn Urdu language, all of these things. You never met such a diverse environment where you can actually be yourself and enjoy. Not only that, being in a resort, you also get that openness. Yeah. Like you feel free to be yourself and in a good way because your character is very important when you are in a resort, right? Yeah. So you have to present yourself in the best way because it's a small community. People can judge you for how you behave, right? So whatever you learn from your home is something you can bring into the new family as well. That's my story.
Wow, that is an amazing story, I would say. Me yashke wahaka warabbar waha korega midi me hasaka human resource daira wadenu gotuga me ehem mihaka wazifa en hode devani wanot ehen kujjaken ehitaraka forko den elibe hinga majun eba warabboda yashke wahaka waha kore jema me industry ga masakka kuram fasha eruga hegatuga me dema warabboda waha kore me de me jeves adi sanaves e kam e hidumate koddevani me elibe hinga majun regon wazifa nimma gedari iyema muhimma kawge den miharo ಅವನಿಗೆ ದೆಂಬಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಅವನು ಬಾದಾರುಗಮಿ 26 years sabbi saharum industry somebody that I respect a lot and I'm sure our industry colleagues have an utmost respect for you. Nahid, tell us what inspired you to join 26 years ago when we weren't even probably thinking we will be working in the hotel industry. Okay. Tell us your story.
Good evening everyone. Good evening. Thank you Ministry of Tourism and thank you, TV Maldives, for giving us this opportunity to share our story with the younger generation, as Jay has mentioned. And I think it is important that we create the way, we create the pathway for the next generation to get ready to take over the responsibilities of taking care of the industry. Now, I was, just like any other student over here, I was a young teenager when I had to decide, which career that I have to choose. Wasn't so much focused onto the professional career. Was too busy engaging with activities like sports and swimming and things like that. But at the end, I realized that it was time for me to decide, and really was not so much focused on and around the opportunities which is available. We always hear about vocational training center, right? That was basically about grooming you onto technical professionalisms. I try to relate myself onto these technical professional careers. I did not find it suiting onto my personality and character onto that. And then I have read one of my relative who said that there is an Institute of Hotel and Catering Services that we need to, he is planning to be part of it. And I thought, I was a person who is always willing to help people. And it's kind of my passion, to see any opportunity if I can help and support anyone. So I thought that, didn't know much about the tourism at that time. I know that we have had resorts, and there are tourists, they are the people who are visiting our beautiful country, but never really had insight of what's happening and what this tourism is all about. And I thought, well, I should take my chances on getting into the hotel school. I went in, and then the more we start gaining the knowledge about the tourism industry, I could really see myself in the shoes of hoteliering professional. So that's where the interest has grown, and like I've said, a person who is of a character of social personality, I could relate so well myself into the tourism industry. That's where I've determined to choose a profession in this particular area and to pursue my dreams, developing a progressive and successful career in tourism industry. That's how I feel. See, it's a kind of very sensitive age for all the students over here, the younger generation. You really need to know where your interest is, where your passion is. Tourism for me is not a job, it's a passion. It just never starts by 9 o'clock and ends by 5 o'clock. It's a passion that you are onto it. You get the satisfaction of doing it only once you do it right and once you complete it, and when other people appreciate it, that's where you take a rest and you feel, you take home the sense of relief and sense of satisfaction of serving some people. So that's very, very important thing, right?
Again, an amazing story and what I got from your story is also the power of helping people. Let me share a little bit of my story of what inspired me to join the hotel industry. So about 16 years ago, my first hospitality industry job was an office administrator in my office, where I was looking after the administration of the Four Seasons, Kudahura, Bandos, and Cocoa. What happened was, one day somebody came to me and said that this is a bag of coconuts. Could you deliver this to my house? And he was one of our gardener in one of our resort. I said, yeah, I'll do it for you. It wasn't in my job description. I took it on my motorbike, I delivered it to a house in Mafan, and I informed him that it was done. And the next day when he came back, he said to me, I cannot believe that you did it, because I didn't ask you to do it. I asked you to deliver. You could have sent it by a taxi. And then what he told me was, because of what he told me, I realized, my God, this is what I wanted to serve people. So 16 years, now as the senior director of Lux South Territory Resort or Lux Resorts and Hotels, I enjoy every day of my job. I want to me hatar befuga wahaka saraboda faha korugen gossi hiduma kurmuga ruha hiduma dinuga arugen mi gengulen je usula. Ana misa program ko break and nagadana arugen fahung program ga wara muhimmu suata ke arugen bentrina hamen adarugen studio ga miwagutu bari wadana huriha arugen future industry kudinna arugen share kolla.
පෝස්පේට සබස්ක්‍රයිබ් කොල්ලාගෙන් හෙස් කියාව සලිතතුරේ අබුදාබි ඉස්තම්බූල් අධි දුපාය දෙමියක දෙකොල් ටිකටා හුරුම් අධි ටුවතවස් මුලින් ඉලේ අධි ශොපින්නම් එන් හාස්ටොලරු තිබේ ලීගෙතුරු ප්‍රමෝෂන් තේරේක පෝස්පේඩ් එකම ඩිපොසිට දක්කා කරනුචේ මහුෆීන් 2% ආහම ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එක ඉතුරු ඩේටාවස් මුලින් ඉලේ නසීබේරේක වුම රාජ්‍යගෙම හවි මොබයිල් නෙට්වර්ක් සබස්ක්‍රයිබ් කොල්ලා
Welcome back to the second part. Now, at the beginning of the program, I mentioned there was a second program of the Upbeat. This is the third program of the Upbeat. And third is always the best, because the best is when we're doing it. So this is the best. So, and obviously the speakers, we got a great. Now, Sana, I've got an interesting question for you. Obviously, in the Maldives tourism industry, we want to make sure that we have a great gender balance out there. And it's something that the Minister of Tourism, the government wants to really promote and get in there. There's great opportunities. But I think there's a misconception around where the youngsters or even those who wants to join, they feel like there's not many opportunities. And I know that you as the training and HR and training manager of the resort where you're working right now, that you really works a lot on empowering the community.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about the opportunities that are available for female employees, potential future, or even the school leavers, and what are some of the work that you are doing that perhaps can encourage this wonderful audience we have here?
I think very good question, Afif. Back then, I think I was also, I was sharing my story. I was a little lost when I started, but we didn't have back then open forums, career guidance sessions like these, and recruitment open days which we have to provide information, and you can actually step in and just get information about specific departments also if you are not very sure. So tourism industry, when we say tourism industry, what comes to our mind is either housekeeping, F&B or front office, but there is more to this industry, and this is an industry which really provides opportunity for you to become the best version of yourself. And it doesn't have to be a gender-based job, so it could be a chef who can even be a singer as well. They could even do a night entertainment and go and serve guests in a different way as well. So in the resorts we have opportunities. Like when I was in primary, I always thought I will be a teacher, and again I am living my dreams. I am a teacher still, so I am doing the training, and you can really be a teacher, or if you want to be a nurse or doctor, that also you can pursue through the industry. If you want to be an accountant or an engineer or a IT technician, you could do that as well. So this is not an industry where you have a specific gender-based job opportunities. It can be for anybody. And I always tell these females, naturally they are more emotionally intelligent, whereas males are more task focused, and this really complements to the industry and gives a good balance to the industry. Yeah. So it really creates a good industry, and where the growth opportunities are created. So from my side, through training, what we really offer is these internship programs. Whoever want to join new to the industry, I always tell that there is no specific age or gender to join the industry. You could really start at 18, fresh from school as well, or you could even start at your 30s just to change your career as well. So there's no specific age or gender for any role in the industry, and this is a industry where we develop and train people. And I think Afif, you mentioned earlier as well, this is one of the industries where people are develop and grow every single day. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I must agree with you. I think if there's one industry in the Maldives where every day people are lined up to train and guide and coach and discipline,
Yes.
the tourism industry is one. And you rightly mentioned, and also I think the point is that the job opportunities we have is not just in the resorts, it's hospitality. So you have the airport, I mean, you have the guest houses, you have the homes, I mean, there's so many things.
And we see a lot of young youth right now getting into the guest house businesses and really thriving in their business and making a living out of it. Nearby local islands which we visit, they really get knowledge of the industry and how they could and get a lot of help from the communities as well for us for job opportunities and creating more opportunities for women to sell their products in the resorts as well. So these opportunities are created every single day, and these are part of tourism industry as well.
And your message to the audience, everybody who is watching and listening, and to all our future industry leaders over here is that we are here, come and join us.
Yes, it's
We'll
never
take
too
you on a
late and
great
never
journey.
too early.
Yes. Jay, now with your over 20 years of experience, you know, we will not achieve anything great in our life unless we face some hardships and tough times. I'm sure you must have had such experiences. Now, I want you to tell us, to our audience and everybody who is watching and listening. Now, what are some of those? Tell us one or two stories. What did you learn from it that made who you are today?
Thank you, Afif. I think a very good question, especially for the younger generation. Sometimes we think we finish O-level, A-level, or hotel school, we can, few months, few years, we can become a GM, or we can become a CEO. But to achieve something remarkable, something great, you have to go through sometimes a lot of hurdles, a lot of obstacles, right? A lot of challenges. But I was very blessed, very lucky to have the opportunity to work with very, very good companies, starting from Universal Resorts, Mina International, Starwood, and now the Cocoon Collection. I got a lot of support from the owners, from my team as well. Had the opportunity for further study in the Maldives and abroad as well. But as a Maldivian, there are many challenges, definitely. Working international brands, the perception of, as a Maldivian, the capabilities, whether we can deliver this. So all these obstacles or challenges, for me, is the opportunity. It's the opportunity to use and really work towards those objectives and targets to achieve something great. I started my career, as I mentioned, room division, then food and beverage, sales and marketing, project management, construction, and leadership role. And also, especially when you work in international brands, I had the opportunity to work 9 general managers, different countries. Yes, there were some situations I thought, can I really deliver? Can I just meet the expectation from these general managers or owners? But I believe myself. I can do it. My friends always say, first, if you want to achieve something, you really have to believe that you can do it. First, I really won't do it. Second, you have to believe it. You have the ability, you can do it. And the third is, you have to work in. So, yes, it was challenging, but positive mentality, open-minded, and taking ownership and responsibility. And those work ethics helped me to overcome those challenges. And I remember one of the resorts where I worked, a pre-opening team, and my general manager, we were discussing about who will handle guest complaints. And there's 3-4 managers, and my general manager said, Jay, you can look after the heart of the house, not the guest operation, because he didn't think that as a Maldivian, we can really take those roles. But things have changed now. Things have changed. There's no general manager or foreign company or any company will have a doubt on the ability of a Maldivian to deliver. So that's things change now. When we started 20 years before, most of the resorts, HODs, leadership role, no Maldivians. even I would say duty manager, no Maldivians. But now look at the industry. Even the best resorts in the Maldives, key decision-making roles, local talents, leadership Maldives. So even though there were situations challenging, but for me, the reason why I'm here today in this position, because of those challenging situations. I took every opportunity and really never give up, believe in myself, resilience, determination, right? We're going to do it. We're going to make a difference. That's the believe it, right? So you have to believe yourself and make a difference.
That's a wonderful teaching there, and I'm somebody who believes in exactly what you said. Because if you want to face something, because hardships, tough times are inevitable. It will be there. It will come there. I always say that if you haven't experienced one, your chance is there, right? Because it's a good chance to take. And that you mentioned over the 20 years, you believe that you can do it. The example you gave around front of house versus the heart of house. And then you didn't just believe in it, that you took action. Yeah. Now, this takes me to the question to Yashfa. The question that I have for you is, obviously we're talking about the mindset that we need, right? And as a first-time joiner to the hotel industry, or somebody who's working in one resort and joining another resort, what type of mindset are we looking in the industry for joiners? And what sort of trainings are available there to make sure that we guide them into that field, into the mindset that we are looking for?
So, as a person, as a newcomer, for sure, need a very positive, open mindset. You have to welcome all the learning opportunities you have in a resort, or even internship, as Hana mentioned. This is the me furutama one eruga emme furutama grab kuran jehani ekujje ke passion hunna area ko area e 10 kuruma faho amille visnidar misal ka den oi daira den in daira ki ye timanna stukuriya dam beno adar badal kuram biruno ganna inga horiha ku dem sama focus kuran jehani ekkanda daskoffa dengina kanaka den eturuka me daskura beno vejja ekame daskoffa ekujjen amille decide kurevene kuriya deveni waki control kunka ei maslenu misalaka, let's say I'm a very good example human resources field around 13 years old. If I got that opportunity to change my field, the words that actually my leader uses that I am looking for a woman who is a Maldivian, who has a good energy, who can bring locals in this place, and who is already out there, public knows. And I was actually shocked by listening this, because I was in HR. I was thinking, okay, maybe this is the only field I will grow. And all of a sudden, whole thinking changed. Visnu horiha it's badal. Then out of the box, I had to take a risk. I was thinking, oh my God, I can't do it. But he was there telling me, like, you can do it. And then I took this role. So learning opportunity, I got out of the box, went into this field, took the step. I can say that being a director of retail is something I never have experienced, or even I think in the Maldives you don't even find this field, right? And this is very new. Learn kuram benovajia hama akantata daskon a field taka horiha kodeme sama focus kuram we like there is nothing stopping you. Tourism daira ki wara bavaru eki kahala job sanabuni hen beenum field ek gawa kureventane.
Ema, I want to me industry join kuraruga. A personality, come personality hotas. I want to industry training eba hori misaka mindset training we sa de I want to ema furtna ves I want to me resort ta kuding ingosfa de ala bazhavana kudam yashkeva fa koroni furtas mi daskot deni mi basic um fashak ham advanced level. you know, one thing that I believe, and I would like to link this with the question I'm going to ask with Nail, is that when you're the first time joiner, there's three things that you need. One is the discipline, I think, which you mentioned already, right? Ada bahulah guara muhim mukame. Number two is respect, regardless of, and it goes to the point you mentioned about 50 different nationalities. Emma, ada ihtiram kurang engin itanaga masak kurang. And timana open mind. I think that is your key point, where kommeka skills das ko deveni open mind hurenka. So I'm going to go now into the question to you. Now, 26 years, that's a lot of years, right? When you first joined the industry, those days are very much different now.
Yeah.
Now, we're much more developed in terms of the training, in terms of developing the skills. What it is like for a new joiner to join the industry now? Let's say, for example, in your resort or any other resort in the Maldives. What are the opportunities we'll provide? And tell us a little bit about your first day in the resort. Like, if you recall, I think you
I'm
do
sure
recall.
that it's going to be a very interesting question. Back then, talking about 26 years back, it was a totally different scenario in the industry. It was a totally different industry. Industry has evolved a lot over this long period of time. And what you have today is drastically different than what we have had back then. Those days, I was fortunate that I carried some knowledge, at least with me, from the hotel and catering services to the industry. But the only source of your learning can be from your colleague who already knows the job. There's no trainings being provided, there's no other opportunities being provided. But how it is today, during the process of your recruitment, we assess you very, very carefully, right? We assess you very carefully, and we know your strengths, we know your weaknesses, we know which area that you need to have more important inputs for you to have a successful career and to get the best version out of yourself into the industry for you to have a successful journey or successful career in hoteliering field. Most of the establishments are affiliated with well-known, reputed universities of the world, giving you opportunities to get into the most exclusive, libraries, and the source of your knowledge is already open. And then again, the industry now is very different from those days. We are benchmarking, we are maintaining the highest level of standards in our resorts in the Maldives. There's nowhere close I have seen so far in any other country which is close to our industry. So we set the highest level of standards, and you have your mentors, you have the people who will guide you, who will lead you, who will teach you, and the consistent training. It never stops in hospitality. It doesn't matter whether you do it right, still we keep on refreshing the training because we want you to do better, We challenge ourselves. We don't compete with anyone else. We challenge ourselves. We want to be better tomorrow than what we are today. So the newcomers to the industry will be very, very fortunate because you will have people who are passionate to take care of you, to lead you to the success, to provide you the resources, the knowledge, the skills, to fine-tune, adjust where you have to, trim and where you have to add on and hone your skills. It is all there, and that's a continuous process. There is a dedicated department, there are people who are very passionate, and it's a must. It's a criteria that you need to meet at the end of the day to meet some of the, those objectives. So training department, like for example, Sana, I'm sure that how busy she will be all throughout the day. It never stops. You will have the skill-based trainings and the generic trainings which you need overall in all aspects that you are being provided. So much of resources for you to be a better person and for you to have a successful career in the tourism industry. So I feel that there was no better day than today. The industry is so well prepared because this is the industry which is competing with the international hotels, international hotel chains. I like to elaborate some of the points that Jay and Afif also highlighted. We have international brands. We have very well reputed international leading brands in the Maldives. But then again, trust me, what's been delivered in the Maldives is being delivered by Maldivians. And we can proudly say that. Who can represent Maldives? People don't come here to sleep in a room. You know, probably they will have very comfortable rooms at their home. They just don't come here to, you know, get into the Maldivian beautiful blue water and swim. They come here to experience Maldives. So if Maldivians are not there, if we are not there to share our stories, to exchange our experiences, how they are going to experience the Maldives? Do you think that anyone else can represent Maldives better than a Maldivian? We know our culture, we know our tradition, we know our history, we know our geography. So do you think that there can be anyone who can showcase Maldives better than a Maldivian? I don't agree on to that. So proudly we can say that we need to lead our industry, and we need you to be there tomorrow. Our time is getting to be over, so we need young talent, young energy, because this is the, you know, the most important and most valuable industry that we have. So all the resources, we are ready. We are always there, you know, with open arm to welcome you and to provide you all the resources for you to step up and take care of this industry. So I think this is the best time to join the industry.
Nahid, based on what you mentioned, what I like is what you mentioned earlier, that even we train you today, we still have to train you tomorrow and the next day. There is a 365 because we believe in our industry, in the race of excellence. There's no finish line, right? You do something great. What's new tomorrow? What's next, right? And I think that is the reason why all of you would agree with me, and probably everybody who is watching this show and enjoying the talk we're having, you would also agree with us. And I really would like to emphasize on one point. Now, with my years of experience, I mean, other than hospitality industry, I also do a lot of traveling. I have been to over 59 different countries in the world, and I'm telling you today, there is no country like this in the Maldives where the people are friendly. And every time I go abroad, I've been to 7 continents, 59 countries. When I land Male International Airport or Welana International Airport, that feeling you get being a Maldivian, because I know that we have the best service in the world. And I think this is what you mentioned.
Let me add something to you onto the point.
I can say raise your energy on this question.
Yeah. No, it is something which I'm very passionate about. Now, Maldivians are naturally hospitable people, very genuine and kind people. And that's what it is all about, the tourism is. So you already have the most important element within yourself. That's part of your DNA. Wow. So who could deliver that better than you, right? That's why still we are leading the industry. We are leading in a very competitive environment. We still have edge over the rest of the competition. That's why the world sees us as one of the most exclusive travel destination, because that's there within you. If somebody takes it as a job, what happens is they need to pay you to smile, right? Yeah. Because you are paid to do that job or to smile, they smile. But then again, is that how it is within us? It is very different, right? That is within ourselves. That's part of our nature that we inherited from our forefathers. Yeah. So that most important element is there within us.
Good, good.
Take advantage of it. Yeah. Be the best hotelier professionals in the world, and you have that all readily available.
Yeah, Nahid, I think, and looking at all of you, I think we could continue the whole night and keep the audience awake. But with the time allocated into the program, Yash, I'm going to come back to you now on this question. You must have met many, many industry leaders, and obviously, you and I know each other. Obviously, I know some of the leaders you have worked with. I had the same opportunity to work with them. What is one of the best advice you've ever received that has helped you to become who you are today?
Okay. To become who I am today, right?
Best advice you've received?
Best advice I have received. There was a time where I actually was taking a break from tourism industry because I had a baby, right? So it was 8 months duration of time where I stayed back in home. And I was thinking, where would I lead myself next? Because there has been obviously struggles, because when you have a baby, you don't know whether people will accept you with a child, right? So I got an advice from someone very special. She said, never leave the industry, because you have already built up to a manager. This is where your life actually starts. Don't go back to home and sit around thinking that, okay, nobody's going to take me because you have a baby. So I was like trying to search jobs, immediately started, and I told myself, okay, I'm gonna get a job where I can actually take my baby with me, right? So I did few interviews. Obviously, some works and some don't, because some of the tourism resorts doesn't accept kids with, because it's kind of not a family resort or specifically built for something. But then I looked for a family resort, and then I caught up with this person who was actually accepting me for who I am. Like he said, I want you to come with your baby, bring your husband, bring your friends, bring your family. But what your role here is, what it means for me. Because if you can hire people, because at the time I was in human resources, so I had to do a pre-opening where it was the busiest time, right? So the advice that she gave me, I took it. I actually found a job where I could take my family with me, live in the resort with a babysitter. This opportunity is also there for all the girls if you're thinking that what happens after you have a baby, right? It works, and now I have 2 kids and I'm still in the industry. And today I'm actually very blessed to work in Crossroad Maldives, because I can go home every day, come back to work, see my babies. On the weekends I can bring them to the resort, be around with them, and this is something very unique and is possible in our industry. And I think Sana would agree as well, as a family, as a person like in faraway island, right?
Like where I work, normally we provide these flexibilities, not as much as daily, but we have opportunities created for weekly to see their kids, or monthly trips planned prior, so that they can actually schedule and have a good time with their family for monthly 4 days or 5 days, so that they can even go and take a boat to go and see their family and friends as well. So in that way you are not totally disconnected from everyone, even though you are living in a resort.
So,
and just, I think when you mentioned about that, you got 2 kids now,
yes,
and still working.
Yes.
I saw that you're even more happier when you said that, right? And so that tells us a message that there is an opportunity for us, not just there. I think there's a bigger opportunity for all of us to find a sort of a work-life integration around this. And I think I'd like to go back to Sana on this question now about work-life integration. And obviously there's a topic around work-life balance, or integrated. How does, or what is the advice for you to our, those who are even in the industry or first time joining, or probably in another job and wants to join us one day? How do we maintain that part? What are some of the activities we have in the resort that help us to, relax ourselves and do a couple of other things, not just work?
Yeah. So wherever you go, again, same like Malay, if you can choose any path where you go work home, or you could actually seek for opportunities. In the resorts we have different, as Jay mentioned, I was also very fortunate to be working with 33 nationalities with Yash in Crossroads. So during this time we have to actually make sure that we are up to the market and we cater to all nationalities. So we create this cross-cultural intelligence among our team members. So this is where we do celebrate different countries' national days, independence days. We do movie nights, we do a lot of fun picnics to nearby islands. We also have local community visits or local island visits where you can actually go monthly shopping trips. Again, if you want to do few bankings, if you have limited resources on the island, ATM trips which we have, or medical trips. So these trips which we arrange just to make sure that you keep that work-life balance. Apart from that, different resorts have different activities where they even plan CSR events where you go and give back to the communities. So in that way also you inspire the team members as well as the local communities, proving them that there's more to the industry than just serving. There is also giving back to the community and inspiring others around us as well. Yep.
Yeah, well, wonderful. And the other day, I did an exercise with my team in the resort, which was write down 10 things that you can do on a day off. But the first 1 minute, they really struggled. At the end, they all had 20 things they can do.
Yes.
Walk on the beach, read a book, play volleyball, go to the gym. I mean, all these facilities are there, right? And even spending time to learn a skill that you may want, right? Now, Jay, as the corporate general manager, I'm sure you must have quite a hectic schedule. How do you find time to do all the things that you do? And because one of the questions that all our youngsters have is, we don't have time, because the last time I checked that all the countries in the world have 24 hours. So how do you manage your time? And I know you had such a wonderful day, but you could not wait to be in TVM tonight. Tell us your story of the industry, right? I mean, not just you, but I think all of us. And so to tell us about how do we find time to manage so that we have time for ourselves, time for guests, time for our family. Tell us a little story from your life.
Thank you, Afif. If you won't do everything by yourself, you will have no time. But if you really believe your team, empower your team, and trust your team, then you will have definitely enough time. Organize, plan your day well, and give tasks. Give tasks and strategize your schedule. Then you will have definitely, you can even manage 3-4 resorts. If you have a team to do it, absolutely. Because I remember 10-15 years before, when I was a resident manager, I was thinking, I have to do it. This is a very, very important job. This is a top VIP. Maybe some of the government dignitaries coming. I have to be there. I have to do everything myself, because if maybe something goes wrong, what will happen? But now I realize, with proper training, space, the trust, confidence, you can build a really great team, a winning team, successful team, and then you will have enough time, free time. Even as Afif, he is one of the most busy person, most accommodating person, but still has time for his fitness program. He never miss, even if it's raining, he will never miss it. So if we can organize and trust our team, building a team, building a leadership team, building a team empowerment, you will definitely find time to organize and plan, and free time, even do exercise.
Yeah. I don't know about this community Vaguten nete kamekura kanat vaguten libe. Our the best part me yagin kodla vegas bayading hama Google invest me. Dunia ge best ka ka sawes kadira ma ginang obeto. Badero gane fenna ka. Ema me as je the meti them point out as it kodla menu money. I don't know. I mean, the self. I don't manage kora mi jehani. I don't know. Self manage coffee cover time manage one. I don't know. Guardian no hotel. Misa kauna mihar bada programs mihar gaganda kam egg gadiru wa gag kom meti egg gadiru mauna meti audience as walu koro. E mauna ge baje mi ba sangal manage kora. War rangal point ta kante paha kor di de. Mi jasha aso beno mi commerce point adi end kodla mi. I want a resort tawga වරබොඩ මේ ගිනපහ වරබොඩ දෙකේ වාහකයෙන් මේ හම ෆුර්සත්ත මේ දිබ්බමුග දහිතකෙන් හොරි වාහක දැන් අවුනේ දුනියගේ හොරිහා ගමක සරබොඩ දෙකේ වාහක රිසර්ච්ගේ සෙබරි misconception of the perception මේ දෙම නාහෙද වරබොඩ වාහක දාව රාජ්‍යක මේ ගාකරක මිත දිහා හර්තේක වරබොඩ කංකම් බදලු හිඟජක මිසාක බදාරු අවුන වර ප්‍රොඩක්ට් වාහක කොල්ල රාජ්‍යගේ බොඩති බ්‍රෑන්ඩ් තවග මෙහර ඩිරෙක්ටර් of sales level මේ decision making level executive committee එක දිවෙහින් යවති එහෙම අවුන හීවනේ අද අවුන තිහාර බයාදාරුග මිහාරුග අද ඩබා වාන කන්නේ එහෙම ඒ ෆුර්සත්ත හෝතු මට්ටක අවුන මිහාර ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රි ගති කුදින්න අලවන්න කුදින්න කුරු විදාන කංකම කික්කොබ ඔත කමියුනිටි තරෙන් දෙවිදාන සපෝට් අයකොබ
මිහාරු self misal ka amille business je me growth ki hama miha ku tabakalla fa do genes deechno da em vi ma growth hodum benu vechya amilla self a plan kuran je okay first haru terega toni tiha haru terega toni fanara haru tere noni hamahu terega ra kitto timanna achieve kuram benu mani da em vi achieve kuran goal khanda alafa e tebaje adi share kuramis misal ka immediate manager noni supervisor ingen chehe eba timanna beenun kon grow wa ehenuni wagote ki e kujja misal ka grow wa beenu wefa eti hifaatan huregen ne dentibi mi hone ka negene ene ki growth look forward kora kujjekkama ehma growth plan eba inde resort takuga me tourism industry ga hospitality ga probationary period kya eche eka kiya dene komme kujjege growth beenum waane step taka rangalu koren je kandataka eya jehige miyanne ne anikka ituru evaluation ne ege baha kitto kuram beenumani den anna dosto nuni what is your goal ege baje rangalan amilla self present kuram bunede ege baje timana beenumani miyan nahar supervisor ka washe ehmejiyam e plan nan e hunna manager focus kodden em hama kan kama balanya me as personally I didn't feel that anybody was like making me feel like I'm a woman you can't do it feeling and na yashke experience by kudinnan as oda dan different resort takuga but my experience my journey ga hama evesarakan nobody make me feel that I can't do it a self presentation if you don't go out there and present yourself or talk about it nobody will know the real you so be out there talk about it if you want to grow if you want to be a GM in the future maybe Jay can help you mentor no
seek for opportunities
seek for opportunities let it be everywhere and I think fair and unfairness is always depending on if you keep yourself quiet and if you don't if you let other people take advantage of you no
If I may add something, I believe that most of the HR professionals will agree with me. We do assess and appraise on biannual basis. And always we identify the high potential, excellent performers, the performers who do beyond the expectations of the departmental managers and the set standards. Those we call high potential people. And you don't really have to come forward saying, look, that I'm looking forward to have, so and so for my future. But we will identify because the results are there and we see that, in all different perspectives that you are excelling your work. So the potentials we see and we even make the plans proactively. You don't have to come, without you having expressing those interests to develop you. We proactively, we go and tell you, look, this is what we see in you. If you can be a little bit more focused on this area, if you can be a little bit more trained on this, you in such and so time that you can reach up to this particular level. So the career progress is already planned. It is there. And it's just a matter of you having the desire and, to work for that. The most important thing which needs for you to have a successful career is the proper attitude, right attitude. That being the most difficult thing that will be challenging if you have something which is very contradicting to the interest of the business. But rest all you can assure that the industry will take care of it. And we as hoteliers, we as the people who leads these business entities will make sure the people who deserve will have the growth, will have the recognition and will have the prospects of developing the progressive
Yeah.
career.
Thank you,
Yeah?
Nahid. I think you rightly mentioned the opportunities are there, and also what Yash earlier mentioned. I think we need something. I always say this golden rule: if you want something, ask for it. You never know. Either you're gonna get yes or no. There's no in between, right? I want to program how much of a gadia badar mihar mi bagut awan hasa ko daun audience ga rajya ge future leaders present hai te awan school kuding mi kudin na ki awan men pad mi industry ga tajriba live fati badi ituru tajriba hoda unda farat tak hama nase hadde encourage ko ge mi program ga mika program ta bayar inspire wege future industry leaders ne goto ko fenigen dana kodi awan mi ha sa program ga baki ma bagut awan me kollani audience ga awna gitti kudin swataka ege kore dimattaka. So we're going to go straight to all these wonderful future. I mean, look at all of you. Look, you're amazing, right? You're just ready to ask some questions. So let's go ahead with the questions. Our panelist speakers here, all of them will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Feel free to ask any questions. Who would like to go first? Good. Here we got a question.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Maldives secures one of the top places as an ideal tourist or resort destination, as you've mentioned before. We've all heard about the drastic drops of inbound tourists to Maldives within the past 2 years due to the global pandemic of coronavirus. What was the biggest challenge or the difficulties that you've faced, and has Maldives managed to overcome all or at least most of the problems getting our original place back up on the leaderboard in the tourism industry globally? Thank
Wow, what a wonderful question. I think a rightly question. The last 2 years has been the two amazing years, I would say, that we remark in all of our time in the industry, right? And I'd like Jay to go ahead with this question first, and perhaps if there's something that Nahid can, because since you both are the general manager side, I think you probably will see this in and out. Jay, what was the success of, when we look at the last 2 years? And yes.
Undoubtedly, that was the most challenging, unprecedented situation, the whole world. But with the support from the Ministry of Tourism, all the stakeholders, the Maldives have done a fantastic job. Have we recovered really well, or have we done really? Yes, 2 years, very challenging. We were heading the right direction, and this year the starting was really good. And then again, the global, always there's conflicts. Again, another conflicts going on. But I would say with enormous difficulties, the Maldives recovering quite well compared to other countries. And because the challenging situation, we refocus our direction, focus on new markets, emerging markets. So not really our traditional markets, whether it's from China or Korea or Japan. But you can see now, the last 2-3 years, emerging markets, new innovative ideas, and different marketing policy and procedures. So with the help of all stakeholders, I would say the Maldives, the tourism industry looks really great. It's really, I would say, glorious days are ahead. More resorts are coming, more international brands are coming. So we are very positive. With the support from all the stakeholders, I think we are heading in the right direction.
Yes, and just to add on to that, I think there's a great case study about Maldives that we should write about how we have bounced back. With all the research that I have read about recovery, Maldives is one of the best stories. Now, since you're the general manager of one of the most busiest resort in the Maldives, the Paradise Island Resort, a great history there of serving the country itself. What would you like to add on to that question of how we recover?
Well, I believe that we have been very blessed with these beautiful, tiny, isolated islands. And naturally, you already have a protective measure onto it. Not each and everyone who wish to pass by and drop into our hotel, that possibility is not there. So the strong measures been in place by WHO and the Ministry of Tourism, and given the natural environment, has actually given us a huge advantage tackling the pandemic issues. I was part, I've had in our resort that we have had a huge impact onto this. In fact, I've had an opportunity to work in 2 resorts during the pandemic. My previous place was Holiday Island. It was Villa Hotel, and then pandemic has started, and the company has decided to give that as a quarantine facility, as it was much needed for the government. And then later on, I've had the opportunity to be part of my current team in the current establishment, which is Paradise Island, a huge resort, very fast-paced operation. You have hundreds of people going out, hundreds of people coming in a very short, since it is very close to the airport, even when the people are not being checked out on from those respective rooms, the people are already there on the island. So very fast-paced operation that we have. By following and adhering and sticking with those very strong rules, very carefully designed to tackle the situation in our industry by the government, I believe, and for us abiding by that and strongly implementing and enforcing those measures onto establishments has actually led us to to bounce back and to have a full recovery of the
if we had
resort operation. There was a time of if I've had 450 plus staff being taken out of operation. Somehow that they have been in contact, or either they are positive or some sort of isolations that they have to go. The house was full. But imagine the passion that the team have had. We are talking about taking care of 600 plus
I think
guests.
Nahid, the point that you mentioned is so right that, and if we were to talk about this story, we could talk a few more hours here.
Sure.
But I thought it would be a good idea to take some more questions from the audience over here, because they all look like they all want to join the industry in future. So let's hear who's the next question? Who got the next question? Here we got from the first class row over here. I'm sure this is going to be a great question. So, let's hear this question.
Thank you. I wanted to ask, since you mentioned that there's not an age too young to join the industry or too old. So I wanted to know if someone wanted to join under the age of 18, where would they go and who would they turn to?
Yeah, what a great question. I'd like Sana to take on this question and the question is, where there's no specific age.
There is no specific age. Under the law of Maldives, we can actually join by the age of 17. So this is where you can actually, after the school, you can start with internship programs, but we have different positions and also departments which will be designated for you to pursue and start your hospitality career. So there is no age for you or stopping you from joining the industry, and you will be taken care of by the mentors, and also will be a trainer who will be designated for you, will be doing your weekly checks, monthly checks, and fully guided training program given while you are working as well.
Whatever the age that you join, we have the opportunity for you. Now let's take the third question here. I mean, these are great questions.
Thank you. Tourism, Maldives is one of the leading destinations in the world, and now we are currently celebrating 50 years, right? And with so many job opportunities out there in the tourism market, I would like to ask all of you actually, if every single student here in the audience is about to complete their O-levels, and in a few years will be choosing what career path they want to go on. So for all of you, I would like to ask, as someone who is considering joining the tourism district, what advice would you give for someone who wants to join but is still unsure about it? They're still on the fence about it. What advice would you give them?
This is a great question, and I think based on the time that's available in the program, since you ask the question after the program. We will actually stay with you, and 4 of us will answer separately the question. But with the time available, I'd like just to take on that question.
Huh?
Yes.
So which advice you wish to have?
Yeah.
Right? I would say that if you are unsure of what career path or the tourism industry to choose, right? Is that your question,
Yes.
right? I think you should explore it first, especially joining, as we mentioned, the internship program, right? Come and experience it. If you don't like it, then you can go back to anything that you wish to choose. Because, yeah.
Adding on to that, actually, I myself was a very shy person when I went because of the fear. I was very new to the environment. I was an extrovert in Male. I was a social butterfly every day, going out with my friends and full of life. And the fear of going to a resort away from my family made me an introvert. But then with the right guidance, counseling, training, mentoring, it really helped me to be the best version and really made me comfortable. I managed to get a second family away from home.
Good,
So-
good. Now, I'm sure after the live part is over, we'll spend some time on answering the question. Let's take the 4th question here. 4th question.
How do you deal with challenging situations such as difficult customers?
This is gonna be, you see, this is kind of,
Arranged well.
Nine, you're gonna answer this question. Tell us the story.
It's a very interesting question, and I think I'm very delighted that you have asked this question. Now, we are dealing with people's emotions, right? And one thing which is good for one particular person might not be good for the other person. So that's where we have to be very careful, understanding and anticipating the need of that person and empathizing to really be in his shoes to understand what he is complaining about. There should be a reason, right? And there's one thing that I want to be sure of. Nobody leaves our hotel being unhappy. So whatever it takes, that we will find some compromises to make sure that the guest leaves with positive and happy memories. The reason why is everyone who comes onto our country, they need to become the ambassadors of our country, and they need to promote, they need to spread the kind and genuine, generous hospitality of Maldivians, and that needs to go around. So there are various different ways. Of course, there are some very unreasonable guests who are coming in sometimes, not really being justified onto their claims. But still, we try to see it in a positive perspective, and we try to accommodate it as much as we can. And as I've mentioned, we make sure that they don't leave the hotel being unhappy. And we make sure that, try as much possible that they return to our hotel as well.
And there are great programs that we actually, in fact, teach that part, right, to the new guys. So let's take the next question, question number 5. I must say these are the best questions I've received today. Right, so let's take the 5th question. I think we got a question at the front row here. Yes. We've got 2 questions, so we'll go after this, yeah. Right in the front, yeah.
Hi, I'm Raya Shahzalid from Brightway. My question would be, what would you say was like the hardest part of being a manager, and especially being an introvert? This question is to Sarah.
Yeah, Sana, go ahead.
Thank you. So actually, I wasn't an introvert, but I was an extrovert, became an introvert because of the fear. And it was very challenging at first. It reached to a level where they almost ended my contract, saying that I'm not a hospitality personality. So, but again, as Nahid mentioned, we segregate the high potential and we don't leave behind the low potential people. We work on them, we guide them through and mentor every single day until they get the best out of them. So this is an area which we really daily focus on and really develop and we reached to a level where we look after the people and they look after our guests. So this is what we are doing right now, and it's a more people-focused industry, and we want them to be comfortable to get the best out of them. So
yeah, what a great story there. I'm sure she would love to have a chat with you after we finish, right? Okay, let's take the 7th question we have here. Yes.
As we celebrate 50 years of tourism, where do you see the future of the industry going forward?
This is probably an amazing question. I think I would love to have Jay to answer this question. Where do we see the future ahead of us? I would believe it's a great future. Jay?
Thank you. This year, as you said, we are celebrating 50 years of not only the golden year, I would say amazing, successful stories, right, of the Maldives tourism. There is no other country. This is such a short period of time. The highest level. So the next 10, 15 years, every year we're expecting more resorts are coming. International airport expected next year from 2 million to 6 million. 6 million tourists means the future looks brighter than ever. More, as I mentioned previous time as well, international brands are coming, investments are coming. People are even happy to invest $200 to $300 million because Maldives is well known as the most successful business stories. Return of investment, maybe 5 to 10 years. So the international airport is expanding. 6 million means more guest houses, more resorts, more young entrepreneurs come into this industry. That's one of the exercise we are doing, bring more young talents, because you are the future. You don't need 26 years, 20 years to become a general manager. With the available resources, the supporting system, in all stakeholders, in every individual resort in the Maldives, wow, what a future. It's looking brighter than ever, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
If you look at the statistics in the Maldives tourism, the next 5 years, every year, 5-10 brands coming to the Maldives, international brands, close to Malé. Now, the resorts next to your house. So, if you look at the statistic, really share this information with your colleagues, friends. I see a brighter future in the Maldives. As I mentioned, 6 million expecting tourists means definitely with all the stakeholders, whether it's guest houses, even resorts, 5-star, 6-star, premium luxury, affordable hotels. So definitely I see a brighter future with more variety and broaden the whole concept of the Maldives as a whole, more affordable as well. While we are focusing Maldives as a brand, definitely it's a brand, 5-star luxury. It's a luxurious, obviously, industry, but still affordable industry as well.
Yeah, thank you. And I think what Jay mentioned over here is a very important point. And when looking forward, the most important things, like all of us here, there are hundreds and thousands of local colleagues that have got great experience. Our commitment is to share this with all of you and inspire all of you. Now, as we're coming almost to the end of our program, we're going to take one more question. So let's take one more question, please. Yeah. Wow, great. Towards the later part, we have more hands raising. Don't worry, we got all the night here. We'll wait after the live telecast over here. So can we have one more question, please? Yes, at the front row here.
Okay, so my question is, since we get in Maldives so many different tourists from many different countries and many different cultures, in the olden days, not the olden days, before, how did you guys adapt to language barriers for like different languages. How was it like difficult back then to adjust to the different languages and cultures?
Great question. I think the perfect way to start will be with 26 years of experience, Nahid. And since the time is almost near, make it a bit brief. Yeah,
We'll try to make it brief.
Sure, of course.
In the worst case scenario, you have the international language. In the worst case of scenario. Most of the travelers, we managed to communicate with them in English. And back in those days, if, you had the, how do you say that, from tour operators and travel agents, then they keep the guides.
Yeah, tour guides.
Tour guides were being placed in many resorts. And the tour operators who send the clients to the resorts, they make sure that we can address that issue of a language barrier if there's anything at all in the sense. So that was how we tackled the situation those days. But now you have multi-talented, multicultural team who are very well equipped and capable of taking care of any nationality of guests that you have, from Arabs, French, German, whatever you call, almost all major languages will be, language speakers will be available on any resorts. Not only in one area, but in multiple locations, wherever it is most needed, it is provided. Because we wanted to provide a seamless and effortless service where the guests feel comfortable and they enjoy the best of their holiday in our resorts. Okay. Is that good enough? Okay.
Yeah, good. And I think we will take probably one more question with the time available. I know we got some. Okay, good. So, yeah, let's take one more question. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ishal from Kalafan School. I was just wondering, how do you guys manage your finances? Like, how do you manage your money? How do you save money? That's the question. Thank you.
How to manage money? Save
Yeah.
money. Okay.
Make it brief, yeah.
As I mentioned, actually, I have mentioned this earlier, right? So when you actually work in the tourism industry, you are being taken care of by a human resources department, which Sana is currently leading. So what happened is that you have a bed, you have food, you have what you call training, medical, annual leave tickets. There's nothing you need to actually spend in the resort except for your own toiletries, perfume, a little snack if you wish to buy something when you watch TV. That's the only thing you actually spend in a resort. That was the first thing which attracted me. Like how much money you could save while working in an industry like this, right? So yes, you can save a lot of money if you wish to and build your life ahead. And as a woman especially, you can stand up on your feet, look after your family. That's how amazing it is.
Yeah.
So all of you need to come and work in the tourism industry, especially women, okay? Because we need a lot of balancing in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as we're already time over the program, we will actually end from here the live, but we will spend time with these wonderful students in the audience and we'll make sure we share some inspiration for the rest of the evening. Now, as we end our program, I want to take a moment to thank Ministry of Tourism for arranging this program. This is the third program of the Upbeat, a wonderful program to bring the stories and inspire the audience, inspire parents, communities. And there's two things I would like to say before we end the program. What inspired me this evening? Of course, apart from these wonderful speakers, the Minister of Tourism is in the audience listening to us. When the minister can take time to be with us, that tells us something. That inspired me. And number two is that there are hundreds and thousands of Maldivians working in the industry. Let's all share these stories with everybody. Because when you share, it inspires people. It encourages people to come and join the industry. As we end the program, on behalf of all the speakers, we wish the industry a wonderful years ahead, wonderful times ahead. And if we thought the last 50 years was great, the time we have ahead is just incredible. With that, I would like to thank everyone and have a nice evening ahead. Thank you.
පෝස්පේට සබස්ක්‍රයිබ් කොල්ලාගෙන් හෙස් කියාව සලිතතුරේ අබුදාබි ඉස්තම්බූල් අධි දුපාය දෙමියක දෙකොට්ජිකට හුරුම් අධි ටුවතවස් මුලින් හිලේ අධි ශොපින්න එන් හාස්ටොලරු තිබේ ලීගෙතුරු ප්‍රමෝෂන් තේරේක පෝස්පේඩ් එකම ඩිපොසිට දක්කා කරනුචේ මහුෆී 2% අහමෙ ඩිස්කවුන්ට් එකක් ඉතුරු ඩේටාවස් මුලින් හිලේ නසීබෙරේක වුම රාජ්‍යගෙම අලුයි මොබයිල් නෙට්වර්ක් සබස්ක්‍රයිබ් කොල්ලා
So we'll continue with the rest of the questions that we have, as we are really excited to share our stories and help all of you to rethink the ideas around the opportunities available. So let's go with the questions. I think you had a question, right, Ida? Yes, please, go ahead.
Before we all reach success, we all face difficulties and negativity from other people. So, like, how do you deal with those negativity and become successful?
Yeah, wonderful question. We all face tough time, negativities. How do you overcome that? Sana, would you like to go ahead with that?
I think even same as when you are in not only away from family, but even with family, you have a lot of challenges during your life. And what's different is when you are in a resort, you can actually share these with somebody who you are comfortable. You have a manager, you have human resources who give counseling, and human resources nowadays is not just about hiring only, it's also about looking after your well-being, mental and physical well-being also. So many tasks which we do or events which we do is focusing on those mental health and as well as physical health. So if anybody is struggling with their emotional intelligence or the struggles which they face every day in life, we normally focus on them. I have a really good story where I recently developed an introvert. After school he have been at home the whole throughout pandemic 2 years. He cannot speak properly. So what we did through training, we didn't focus on him, forcing for him to talk, but by the training and also guidance, he felt himself as a very useful person in the community when he helped. So slowly he's an extrovert now, slowly opening up with people, and he's really thriving. He joined recently as an intern 1 year ago. I actually had to extend his internship just because of the struggles and challenges which he faced. But the one thing he kept is he kept a very positive thought. He didn't let himself down because of these challenges. And we are talking about an industry which creates challenges into opportunities. So this is where we learn and grow.
Yeah. And I think just adding on to that, I'm sure all of them will be happy probably to go to the school and teach this too, right? Probably that would be a good idea to share with the school leaders, and we're happy to come and teach. But I think I'd like to add on that, bad things can happen, negative things can happen. We can't control them, but we can control how we
react to it.
Exactly, how we react to that, right? So I hope that answers the question. Let's go with the next question, please. Yeah, we got 2 questions, so let's go with that.
Considering how tourism is still growing in the Maldives, how have companies been trying to deal with the sustainability aspect of it?
Yes, I think recently there was a great sustainability initiative, Nahid, in your group. Would you want to talk about that and tell us?
Without the sustainability, we cannot exist. Our environment is too fragile, and we need to look into all aspects of it, the whole well-being of the entire product as whole. So but I'm absolutely very certain that sustainability is part of the whole tourism, and that needs to be a part of the tourism, and that will be part of the tourism as long as the tourism is existing. And what we can do is to educate ourselves and our younger generations and everyone who is in our environment, and we need to live on alignment with the sustainability practices that we have. we've been a fairly small community when you look into the whole global community in a bigger picture. Our contribution is less, but yes, we do our part, and let everyone else do their part. And this, as whole, globally, if everyone takes their portion of responsibility, then we will be fine with that, right?
And
So
sustainability is one of the key areas where almost all the resource focus in the Maldives now. So, wonderful question. Let's go with the next question. We got one. We got two questions, so we'll probably go with, and then we'll come to you. Yeah, thank you.
Other than hospitality, what is an essential skill required in anyone pursuing a career in the tourism industry?
Other than the hospitality, maybe Yash, you wanna?
So, hospitality industry doesn't only have all these jobs that we have mentioned. We also have, in addition to that, if you are an artist, if you are a musician, if you are a dancer, if you make things out of paper, all this creativity is very much welcome. And we actually have a street market every month where we showcase all the local talents, and those who we select as a CSR component, we give the stall free. So these are the things that we do to encourage any other talent. And one of the things we are currently introducing, which is very rare in Maldives, is busking, which is, you have seen, I think, on the roads when you go around in other countries, actually, you'll find people with flutes, with guitars, putting a cap down. And actually, this is something really good where you can earn individually. You just showcase your talent in public, and then all the guests or any public they see, if they want to donate any part of money to you, they will actually recognize your talent, and you will be able to earn. So don't hide yourself. If you have any other talents, anything is welcome in the tourism industry.
Yeah, I think now what I would like you to add on to is that other than the genuine hospitality, the smile, the friendliness, the care part, what are some of the other skills that one may need?
Now, you need to listen this very carefully, all right? Our tourism industry is something which is very unique, way and far better than any other tourism industry. Why I am saying that is because we are self-sustaining establishments. Which profession that you want to pursue? You want to be a technical engineer, electrical engineer, electronic engineer, and information technology professional, artist of any form, any sort. What not is there? Everything is there in our industry, because we sustain our resorts by our own. We manage everything by ourselves. We have our own power plant, we have our own workshops, we have our own carpentries, we have our own units of almost every professional area. So I feel that most of the youngsters who who tries to pursue a career, you shouldn't really hesitate what is in the tourism for you. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a customer service professional. It doesn't have to be a waiter or a room attendant or a front office desk receptionist. It's much more than that. It's much more than that. So opportunities are endless.
Good.
Still, with Paradise Island, I would like to say that we are providing the opportunity for some of the college students to come and do their practical trainings in Paradise, and that is happening. That is ongoing. So you can learn and you can groom yourselves onto achieve your dreams and your aspirations. In the tourism industry, which is not there in most of the other countries, because their electricity will be provided by outside party, their maintenance will be provided by outside party, their vehicles will be managed by outside party, but that's not the case here. We are having endless opportunities, like Yash has mentioned.
Good.
So just keep exploring and let us know which profession that you
Yeah, I
want to
think
pursue.
we have almost come to the end of our time where the recording set time is also almost completed. So we're going to take one more last question and then we'll end. So one last question, I think. Yeah. But after the recording, we'll be happy to come by and speak to you. So I think we have one more question over here. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm from Gazi
sorry, yeah, we
School.
got this. Yeah, go ahead.
And I have a question.
Yeah.
Earlier you mentioned about having to face challenges for being a woman in the field. What are you planning to do for the future generation that will help to overcome this challenge?
Thank you. Good question. Sana, would you like to take on that? Yeah.
Sure. So back in the days, we don't have these opportunities where we can bring babysitters. If you look at few years back, they don't have these opportunities, or the space in provided, or the resort is not structured for them to come and be with a babysitter or a kid on the island. But then again, now the times have changed and mindsets have changed. So HR will build their structure right now with a family room, with a person with kids, with a babysitter's room attached. So these are the challenges, and again, government have provided few flexibilities of you going home after work. So this also enables a lot of challenges we face back in the days, like going to see your kids after work, or creating that work-life balance, which is the most commonly addressed challenges in the industry back in the days. So I think we are positively taking it and tackling these issues in the current tourism industry.
Yeah. Good. So with that, I think we will end our Q&A session. And once again, we would like to thank all the participants for joining with us and sharing, of course, the speaker sharing your stories.
Asif, can I ask one more question before we go with
Sure.
the audience? So
Yeah.
can you raise the hands of who would be inspired to join the industry from these sessions? Yay! I want to see more hands.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you should keep on that until I finish taking the
Yes.
photo. Can everybody raise your hand?
Yes,
Nice.
Can I just take one
I
minute?
will be counting on
Yeah.
you.
Okay. We'll just do a closing remark just to end it. Just keep it for a minute. I think that would be good. Yeah. So we'll start with Jen. Yeah.
Okay. Grade 10 students. Imagine you finish your O-level, you get a call from Ferrari, head office in Milan. Imagine you get a call from in Switzerland, head office in Rolex. They are offering an internship program in Rolex head office in Switzerland. In Ferrari, the most renowned brand. I'm sure, all of you, I won't go. Rolex, Ferrari, many other brands. Maldives, if you Google it, piece of heaven, paradise, the most renowned destination, the most prestigious industry in the world, Maldives tourism industry. Be part of this amazing industry. Be part of this amazing industry, because we need young, innovative, passionate talents like you. So this is not only just a job, as our colleagues mentioned.
Yeah.
We are changing the life of people. We are making a lot of stories. We are creating stories, unforgettable, memorable journeys. For guests, for our team members. Imagine our team members, our Maldivian young talents. Yes, there are different characters, personalities. It doesn't matter. This is the only industry in the world, in the Maldives. You have all the training which is required for you to unlock your potential and make the best out of it. Be part of this amazing story. Be part of this tourism success story. So thank you very much for being part of this important experience with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay, for sharing your wisdom and energy. I'm sure they probably are inspired twice. Now, Sana, what's your closing remark?
I would say if I have to go back and change one thing about my career, that would be to join the industry sooner, actually. Yeah. So we are gifted and take this positively and grab the opportunities as much as possible. Yeah.
Thank you. Yash?
Yes. For me, it would be, we have two levels of it, right? One is those who will be excelling their future further career. One, those who will not be that fortunate to go further career, right? So for me, I will focus on this side a little bit more. Those who finish their schools and those who are looking for an opportunity to start it immediately like we did. So you could always reach out to us, let us know, let us the tourism ministry know that you are available, available to join as soon as, and we have a lot of opportunities that will take you to the industry and groom you. Okay?
Thank you, Yash. And Nahid, closing remark, please.
Well, I would like to make my remark onto this very special moment to let you know how important you are for the sustenance of our industry. You can see, as Jay has mentioned, many of the international chains has come in here, and a lot of foreigners are being employed in here, and we are finding less and less people to take care of the industry. This is one of the finest industry that you have in the Maldives, and we have a responsibility, as I have mentioned. And on top of that, this is the most rewarding industry, and this is the industry which appreciates every little effort that you make and contribute into the industry. So you as the youth today and the future leaders, the people who will be taking care of this country as well as the industry, I encourage you, I wish you to step up and to start the amazing journey of taking care of the industry. So I believe that you will take it, very dearly, because this is the only industry we have, in a way which is contributing so much into our country and our economy.
Yeah.
And that's the bloodline.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nahid, and all the speakers. And I think my closing remark to all the students is that we're in the best business in the world. We're in the best business because every day we wake up in the morning and we're going there and making other people's day. And that itself, I mean, there is nothing better than that, right? Because if you go to a stationery shop to buy something, there are different brands. When you go to the resort, you have us as human beings that are dedicated to looking after the human beings. And I think there is nothing, the highest level of, highest calling of service is looking after people. So we hope we have inspired you, and to all the viewers of this program, once again, thank you very much. And we wish the industry well. And I'm sure on the Upbeat segment 4, you will even see wonderful speakers. And thank you very much once again.
Thank you.